So when I'm doing a Zoom call or meeting with a client that wants to move to either Bayfield or Durango, and they're just not too sure what they're looking for, the first thing I bring up, the first subject I bring up is elevation. So contrary to a lot of other cities, Albuquerque, Dallas, Phoenix, where that's just not even a thing. It just doesn't matter. But elevation here really matters, and I'm going to explain why, get into a few details that you might not be aware of. Guys, we're getting calls, texts, emails from people wanting to move here to Durango every single day, and we absolutely love it. If you're even thinking about moving to Durango, make sure to give us a call, text, email, days, nights, weekends. We've got your back when it comes to moving to Durango. So the first thing regarding elevation is what I'm doing is I'm sitting down with a map with them and showing them the areas where the elevation starts climbing. So like in Durango, for example, after kind of the County Road 250 area, after like James Ranch or Honeyville, that area, it starts climbing in elevation. If you guys are looking at a specific area, make sure to reach out to me and I'm happy to walk through the area with you and show you where it climbs in elevation. It's hard to tell on a map. It's hard to tell without really knowing somebody specifically that lives there and say, what's the difference between this home's elevation and in town? How much does it actually climb? Can you get out and show me a video? So a lot of the times what I'll do for clients that are out of town is I'll get my drone up in the air and actually shoot a video of the driveway of the road. And to get into that specific detail, the first kind of issue or hurdle regarding altitude is going to be driveways. So you might have heard me talk about this in other videos. As you climb up in elevation, a lot of these driveways are going to be pretty steep. And especially when you're looking for homes with great views. You might find a home on Realtor or Zillow.com where it's got great views and you really can't see the road, because a lot of the times they don't want to show you the driveway because it might scare you away, because these driveways are fairly steep. Well, I'm talking about elevation. This item is so important. I discussed with you how sometimes you'll see properties and you can't really see the road coming up to it. You can't really see what it's like, how steep it is, things like that. And I'm more than happy to get my drone up in the air, show you specific properties and show you what that incline of that driveway looks like, how long the driveway is, and just give you a lot more information. And that goes for anything else you see or hear or think of in these videos. I'm trying to figure out ways that I can give you more value specifically as a viewer that's watching. So let me know, shoot something in the comments, or just shoot me a message, text, call, days, nights, weekends. And by the way, guys, I am a licensed realtor if you weren't already aware, so I'd be more than happy to help you with any of your real estate needs. Give me a call, days, nights, weekends. We've got your back when it comes to moving here to Bayfield or Durango. Now let's continue to get into the video. In past videos, I've given the story of where we sold a property that had a 12% grade, had one switchback going up to the home. And we had probably 80 showings. It was priced really, really well, but everybody was scared of dealing with that driveway. So what really comes into play and what I recommend you doing, other than just being aware it's steep, I want to stay away from it, but look into the details. How much does that area specifically get of snow, or just what's the comparison of the altitude from there to in town to Durango, etc. And then what are you going to need to plow that driveway and just take care of it in the winter? Some of my clients just have snow blowers and are able to do it. It might be a smaller driveway. You can do it with a snowblower. What do those cost? Previous video, I mentioned that the carburetor in these snowblowers sometimes is not made for this elevation. So you need to make sure that that carburetor fits this elevation. Another thing that you most likely won't be aware of is these snowplows will go by and hit your road, but not your driveway. And a lot of these snowplows are gonna push the snow into your driveway, and you'll have 2, 3, 4 foot berms of snow. So something to keep in mind when you're thinking through, do I really want to be in a higher elevation area with more snow? But let's stick on the concept of having that steeper driveway. So you might want to look into getting an ATV. Look at the prices of those, look at the maintenance costs of those, how much gas you might use, which won't be a lot, but the maintenance costs, talk to people that have owned them. And then on that note, putting a snow plow on the end of your ATV is kind of the finishing piece to that. And feel free to reach out to me. Got a lot of friends that have them, and I can get you more details specifically on that subject. As you get up higher in elevation, a lot of these roads are going to be like this. They're not going to be flat. They're going to be very hilly. And so if you're somebody that maybe has knee problems, hip problems, back problems, or just doesn't do as well on inclined surfaces, you really want to be living somewhere flatter, let me know. And I'm happy to, again, shoot a video, show you specifically the road driving up to it. Maybe the drone footage of that home shows a little bit of that road, but not the entrance, or not 1 mile down the road, or not the sharp turn that you have to take and the steep drop off, because some of that stuff in the winter, it can be really sketchy. If you have a sharp turn and it's icy and snowy, you might not mind it, but you might be pretty frustrated with having to do that every day. Or if you have to get up early to go to work, go to the grocery store, some of these things you just want to walk yourself through. So another item regarding altitude is going to be, are you someone that gets altitude sickness or can adjust to the altitude pretty well? I really recommend coming out here, spending a week out here, spending at least a weekend to see if you adjust to the altitude well. And more specifically, if you're looking at a higher altitude home, even 7,500 feet, even 8,000 feet, even a little higher than in town, try to get an Airbnb that's close to that elevation. So the last thing you want to do is make that offer on that gorgeous home, come out here, realize you don't adjust to altitude very well. I mean, I think most people do adjust to it pretty well. And you might know, if you want to live in a mountain town, you've probably been to mountain towns in the past, but this is something that I want to recommend specifically because I've had clients make offers from where they live, and they live generally at 0 feet elevation, come out here and then realize they're not too happy with stuff like the amount of snow or just the altitude in general. So the next item on my list is going to be access to things, access to amenities. So I've discussed this in other videos, but I want to specifically talk about hospital access. So we really don't have a major or bigger hospital here. Your hospital is going to be in Durango, or on the way to Durango. So the nice part is it's on this side of Durango, near Bayfield. One more item regarding altitude is, in Bayfield, you're gonna have a shorter growing season. So if you wanna be gardening, you really love gardening and like to focus on that, look more into the growing season. So I can tell you specifically, we're about 3 to 4 degrees colder here in Bayfield than in Durango. The amount of snow doesn't necessarily affect the growing season specifically, but that temperature does. And so we do get quite a bit more snow here in Bayfield than in Durango as well, about 114 inches on average versus about 60 to 70 inches in Durango. The next item, speaking of snow, is going to be winter activities. So it is a great place for winter activities regarding Bayfield. I'm going to start with kind of the pros as far as that goes. Is Lemon Reservoir. I but this winter was snowmobiling with my brother out there. It was really gorgeous, had some killer, incredible views from up there. Had a lot of fun. They had some great groomed trails up there. You're about 20 minutes, 25 minutes from Bayfield itself into Lemon Reservoir. Then Vallecito Lake has a great groomed trail for cross-country skiing. I go up there with my dad all the time. I love cross-country skiing up there. Got a groomed trail that's looking right out at the lake. Also great for snowshoeing. A lot of great snowshoeing trails around this area. But the con to living here regarding winter activities, there really isn't as many compared to Durango. So I do a lot of comparison to Durango. But Durango's got great cross-country skiing at Hillcrest Golf Course in town. They've got some great cross-country skiing at Glacier, if you're a member there. They've got great cross-country skiing up at the Nordic Center at Purgatory, which from Bayfield is about 1 hour and 4 minutes. And so to address the downhill skiing side, while I'm talking about Purgatory, you're about 1 hour and 4 minutes from Purgatory Ski Resort here in Bayfield, then about 1 hour 15 minutes from Wolf Creek. So you're right in between. Keep in mind at Wolf Creek, if you haven't skied it, it's incredible. I've skied it and I absolutely love skiing there. When you're getting a good snow day, a lot of snow, it can be difficult to get through that pass, can be dangerous versus going here to Purgatory. I've driven that quite a bit and it's I would say a lot safer. Obviously it's so relative, depending on the day, depending on the weather and the conditions. This is super kind of, I shouldn't say random, but super different. You might not have heard of this, but I was looking into just more things I can mention to help you guys in these videos. And I found some heated windshield wipers. So essentially this little element goes on your windshield wipers that you have now, and super worth it because there's a lot of times where I'm driving and the car behind me is spitting up snow, or it's just snowing really hard, but you really want to get out to the ski slopes. So worth looking into that as well. There are some great places to go sledding here. In Durango, you might find yourself going to Durango a lot more. Or if you really like cross-country skiing, this might be the place for you. You might really enjoy Vallecito. I recommend coming out here in the winter. If you're on the fence about like Bayfield versus Durango, regarding the skiing and regarding the winter activities, definitely come out here. Check out Vallecito, check out Lemon Reservoir, check out the stuff that they have to do closer to Bayfield, because you might be super happy with it, especially if you're not looking to do more downhill skiing. All right, the next item that is kind of a con to living out near Bayfield or in the area of Bayfield is going to be internet connectivity and cell phone connection. So I'm going to more speak on cell phone connection. I can't give you like a specific on, hey, this area versus this area in Bayfield doesn't get good internet reception, partly because we've got a lot more options as of lately. An example of that is Starlink. They finally have started servicing the majority of these areas. When the guys that were servicing Starlink were putting in one of my clients' homes, they were like telling him they were jealous of how good Starlink was because they had set it up and were seeing the speeds, the internet speeds. I definitely recommend looking into Starlink. Regarding cell phone reception, we have Spectrum Mobile. I recommend getting them or looking at Verizon, looking at some other companies. We originally had T-Mobile, and at least in town Durango, we didn't even have signal at all. So T-Mobile was not good there. They might have changed since then. Kind of disclaimer, I don't know for sure. That's been a few years back. Regarding driving between Durango and Bayfield, if you think you're going to do that much, on Highway 160, which is, I think, the more trafficked it is, the more trafficked road, I haven't had any connection issues there. But if you're going Florida Road from Durango to like the Vallecito area, or you're living up closer to Vallecito, I've had a lot of issues with cell phone connection. It's just completely bad. Like I don't have any connection at all on that way. I really don't get much till I get to Vallecito. I was showing a home the other day that was about a mile from Vallecito Reservoir, and was getting good reception. It wasn't like 4 or 5 bars, but it was really solid. And then there's also these things that you can put on your home that help your cell phone connection, and like the boosters. And so that was really helping the client I was talking to about their house. So you can definitely do that as well. So it's just being aware. If you're okay with, hey, I want to be out in the woods, I'm okay with not great cell phone reception, maybe I can get Starlink and connect onto the internet. That's what we do at our house, because even at our house in the valley, in the Animas Valley up north of Durango, we have a lot of cell phone connection issues, but we connect onto the internet when we're at home. All right, our next item on the list is limited parks. So we actually moved from the Albuquerque area, used to live out in Hawaii, used to live in San Diego, and used to there being a lot of different parks, a lot of different amenities for kids out here. When we're talking about parks, is really going to be your more natural parks. We've got like Little Pine River Park, where the river is kind of flowing through, and then there's like almost like a little pond, like where the river kind of stops up a little bit. So they can kind of play around in there. It's maybe a couple acre park that's right next to the Bayfield welcome sign, right when you're driving into town. All right, so this right here is Mesa Park, and just this small playground right here. They're in the subdivision of Mesa Meadow, which again is just south of Highway 160, right when you get into town. We're at Stephenson Park. I'll show you around a little bit. They've got nice little playground right behind me here. Check this out. And then right behind it, swing sets. And then behind that is great soccer fields. And then there's a baseball field, a couple baseball fields on the other side. What's really cool about it is the river runs right through this park on the other side. And I'm gonna walk over there and show you that right now. A few other things to mention is it's right on Mill Street. So right downtown, it's a great little Mexican spot right there. Great restaurants right up the way from this park. And as you can tell behind me, it's a really good sized park. Again, several soccer fields, baseball fields, little creek running through it, and the Pine River is running right through the other side of it. There's also a skate park right over there and some fairgrounds set up over there as well. So I'll show you those in a second. And something I didn't mention is behind me, right around the soccer fields, is a nice little gravel trail that goes around. So I personally love to run, and I don't like running on pavement because I don't feel like it's as good for us. Better run on dirt. And so there's this nice gravel trail all the way around there. It's about a quarter mile, it looks like. So really nice to know that you have somewhere to go to run if you don't want to be running on pavement, or if you really want something a little flatter like this. Now across the street from where we were just at is another little park with picnic tables, pavilion, covered pavilion, and then another playground right here as well. There's a little rock wall on it for kids, and a nice big grass play area, or area to do whatever. And then just over here are some horseshoe pits, just to show you where we came from. We were just right there in that field. Then there's some horseshoe pits right here behind me. And the best part of this park, in my personal opinion, is the river going right by us. And then you've got this great trail right here to run on right by the river as well. I'm gonna walk over there and turn the camera back on and show you. Check out this trail right here, right down from the park that we were just at. This nice little trail walks down to the Los Pinos River. Great fishing here. Right now it is middle of September. And so you can kind of see, if you fly fish, you understand, you can kind of see the flow of the river right now. It's really nice, really good flow. A lot of pockets for fishing. If you want, you can bring kids out here. There's a little area to play in right here. There's a bridge right up there. So you're gonna get some shade underneath there, maybe some good pockets. We're gonna hold some bigger fish. And this structure of this area looks really, really good. It's a picnic bench right here. Great area to fish. One of my favorite features of this park and this town in general, you've got a nice big river running right through the middle of town, the Los Pinos River. So if you guys have specific questions on the Los Pinos River, let me know. I can connect you with some great fishing guides as well. I've got some friends that know this river really well, and we can talk to you about fishing this. Now here's another small little park within this subdivision. It's called Gosney Park in Yucca Estates. This subdivision up at the top, this was actually where I was filming this video from. Up at the top, there's some nice little trails, really nice little view of Bayfield. You can kind of see some mountains in the distance. I'm going to show you the middle school and intermediate school right here. And we're going to hop the drone up in the air here and show you those right now. 30 minutes away or so, you are at Vallecito Reservoir. Off to the east of Vallecito, there is a great trail, awesome trail. I want to say it's 18 plus miles. That's in the National Forest. Super pretty, incredible views. I did it last year with my wife. Vallecito is a stunning lake. I love this lake. Now I'm a distance runner, so I love Vallecito Reservoir. The other side of the reservoir is all dirt. So it's a great road to run on. Really light amount of traffic. And then what's stunning about this lake is they've got a ton of camping options as well. Great fishing. They've got salmon, they've got bass, they've got pike, got a ton of different variety of fish here. And just, as you can see, you can put your boats in. They've got a great marina. They've got a great restaurant here on the lake, Waimanouche Grill. They've got plenty of Airbnb options around here. When you talk to a local, you talk to somebody about like, gosh, where are all your parks in comparison to where I came from? Well, it's really the National Forest. That's really kind of your answer. Now, if you go into Durango, there are more parks, there are more playgrounds. Farmington, New Mexico, it's going to be about an hour and 20 minutes away from here or so. And they've got an awesome trampoline park. Can't recommend it enough. Definitely check that out. Pull it up online, look at that, maybe give it a try if you have kids. That's a cool place to go as well. I've got some great friends, good friends of mine that have kids that are a little bit older than my kids. My kids aren't quite old enough to go to the trampoline park, but they go there for birthdays. They go there quite often. Another place that I didn't mention is the rock climbing gym. It is actually on your way into Durango if you're coming from Bayfield. So it's pretty close to Mercy Medical Hospital. They've got a great climbing gym in there. My buddy brings his daughter quite often and she loves it. She's getting really good. You see any property or just areas, or hey, I see this park on this map. Can you tell me more about that? Or I see the hospital here. Can you show me maybe a drone video of that, or show me a drone video of these parks? I'm more than happy to do that. Let me know. I want to get specific information, specific videos in your guys' hands so that I can provide you with more value. And by the way, guys, if you're even thinking about moving here, I'm a licensed realtor, would love to help you with any of your needs, thinking of buying, investing, selling here in Durango or the Bayfield area or the surrounding areas. Give me a call, text, email, days, nights, weekends. We've got your back when it comes to moving here to Bayfield and Durango. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment on this video. Would love to hear your thoughts on this video. Anything I missed, anything you'd like to hear more of. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See ya.